Hello YouTube, it's Viva Gomez here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Xbox One Media Remote. So I just picked this up at Best Buy just a few days ago. It retails at $22.99. So I'm going to go through several pros and cons that it has, and whether you should pay full retail price along with the number score out of 10. So to start off, here's the Xbox One remote. There are basic controls. They have the power button on top. We have the selectional pad right here, as you would on a controller. We have the menu buttons, as you would on an Xbox. Sorry, got it up on the Xbox controller. We have, I have to keep moving it. We have the volume buttons and the channel buttons, as well as the play, pause, stop, fast forward, rewind, skip chapter. We also have a back button, and what is this? A one guide button for your favorite TV programs, and a mute button right here in the middle. So there are not too many controls. Let me start off with a good thing about this controller. Let's start off with how good it feels. It's a very, very comfortable remote. Assuming, it's not like a controller or TV remote where you'd be holding it for a long amount of time. You're not going to be holding it too often. But when you do, it feels really nice and comfortable. It's very, very compact. In my unboxing, I mentioned that it was bigger than I thought it would be. And this is around the perfect size for a remote, multi-purpose remote for me. It does have something I love about this, as you've noticed. It has these luminescent backlit buttons, which is really nice and handy. So whenever you move it, so let me just wait till it, as you saw. So see, I'm not moving it, and if I pick it up or move it around, the buttons turn on like that. So it's really nice when it does turn on the buttons. So if you're in the dark, if you're watching a movie, if you're watching like a Blu-ray movie, and you need to go get a snack or go to the bathroom or just go get something or pause or rewind, whatever you need to do, you picked up this remote, and I'm sure most of you, if you've ever owned a TV or remote and a movie and you want to pause something, you need to kind of bend down and you need to kind of look at the remote to see what buttons there are. You don't need to do that with this one anymore. You just pick it up, you can look down at the buttons right here. You don't need to strain your eyes or anything, and you can just see all the buttons, which is really nice and handy. There's one thing that I actually didn't know about this. I thought that you had to aim this remote at the Kinect sensor. So I kept on trying to manipulate the Xbox with this remote and pointing at the Kinect, and it just wasn't working. If you're wondering about buying this, if you think it's broken and you're wondering what's going on, you just need to aim it at your Xbox console itself. You don't need to aim at the Kinect. So I just figured that out just a few days ago. I look like an idiot just trying to figure out why it wasn't working, and I was thinking about returning it. But you aim it at the Xbox console and it works great. It's so responsive. It's just like a regular TV remote or regular Xbox One controller. We'll talk about the in-app integration now. Now, if you use Netflix, assuming that you do have an Xbox One and you use all these apps, an Xbox One is a multi-purpose media console, which is what this remote is for, the media. So there's apps like YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Instant Video, TV, Blu-ray, all these different apps that come in handy when you have this remote. So it works well with each one of them. If I was watching Netflix last night, I pressed pause because I needed to go get something. It worked great. Fast forward, it works great. On my TV, I have DirecTV. Depends what satellite or DVR cable box you have. But I have DirecTV, and we use the remote all the time. I was watching Survivor last night, and I was trying to fast forward through it. My dad grabbed the remote. I said, nope, we can use this one. And so I used this remote to fast forward through it, and it was just a slight lag, barely noticeable at all, but pretty much the exact same speed as the regular remote. It works great. Fast forwarded, press play. There was barely any delay at all. There was a little bit, but not enough to be noticeable at all, really. So it is a great remote. It does work well with the menus. I like navigating through the menus more so than the controller. And this is great for people if in your household, I have people in my household who aren't familiar with the Xbox One controller and they don't really want to use it. So this controller is great for people who just want something very simple that's like a TV remote. It can barely get any more simple than this. It's a fantastic remote, but there are some downsides, so let's get to that. One of the biggest downsides for me, actually, it's kind of funny, if you own black upholstery, like I have a black sofa and black recliner chairs, I stick it down on there and it blends in because, these buttons are illuminated right now, but when it sits there, the buttons, as you will see, will go out. So it is kind of a problem trying to find it. It does blend in. That's just me, though. I mean, you could have different color upholstery. But for me, it just blends in so well. I wish they had a little bit more colored. I know that's how they have the Xbox console and the controllers, but Xbox used to be kind of a green color. it would be nice to have some kind of different color variation on it, maybe like a green one or a white one, something like that to make it more noticeable. Another drawback is that there's no number pad. So if you're watching TV and you have your channel, say you're watching, I don't know, channel 240 or something, whatever that is on your DVR, you can't press 240 on here because there's no number pad. Whereas on a regular TV remote, you'd be able to press the channel and go to it. So that is something that I think would have been better if it was added. It would have had even more functionality, you know, just extend it a little bit with a number pad, like a small cell phone keypad almost, and it would work great. Other than that, the remote is very good. I can't really think of any downsides other than that, except for maybe the fact that it doesn't work with the Kinect. I wish it did. Instead of just pointing at the console, maybe just both. The sensor isn't always the most sensitive, you know. When you aim it in a little bit skewed of a direction, sometimes it won't always hit it, you know. Since I said I was aiming it at the Kinect, it wasn't always picking it up. So I wish that was an added feature. But other than that, this remote is fantastic. If, you know, some people are doubters out there thinking, why would you ever shell out the money for this? This is a really great device. It provides functionality and the easiness of having something to your house that can manipulate all your media. You can have your movies, your shows, Netflix, all these different apps, all the menus. And it's for people who don't necessarily want to use a controller. So, you know, like I have people in my household who don't. So that's a good reason to get this remote. So I'm going to give this remote a 9.2 out of 10. It's great, but I wish they had a keypad, and I wish it had, you know, functionality with the Kinect. But other than that, this is a great remote. So any more questions, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching. Cheers.